Hello! Today I'm going to create a collage and a mixed media collage, meaning using more than one media, in this case, paint and collage, to create two pieces of cloudscapes that are inspired by Cloud Cover by Tarasita Fernandez, and this piece is in Olympic Sculpture Park. Olympic Sculpture Park is a public art park that is in Belltown, Seattle, and Cloud Cover is there, which you can see right here. The city hired Teresita Fernandez to create this piece to connect the city to the waterfront. And it's really cool because it's done on glass and it is images of Miami sunsets, where Tarasita is from. And when the light comes through just right, it reflects on the ground where people walk, and it really feels like you're in that actual atmosphere that inspired her to create this piece. The hose that let light through. Well, it all lets light through, but these are like beams. For this project, you'll need a piece of paper, you'll need some sort of paste like glue, glue stick, or water and flour mixture. You'll also need either newspaper or magazines because you'll be using color and or images from them. Other optional things to have are paints of any kind and scissors. Tarasita was inspired by Miami sunsets. I was inspired by this sunrise this morning, and also this image that's on my refrigerator of a sunset on my porch in Chicago. So you can make these whatever size you want. I split a piece of just regular printer paper in half to make two different collages. And here I'm using magazine images that kind of remind me of that sunrise and sunset that I really liked. You can think of skies that you've seen in your past that remind you of places that are familiar to you or feel like home. And so here I'm cutting out things, kind of arranging them before I glue them down to see how I like them. You don't have to keep everything you've torn or cut out. It's called editing, kind of taking a bunch of stuff and then paring down to what you really like. So I like to kind of make sure that some of my images come off the edges of my square piece of paper, so there's a little bit of excess. And then when I've glued everything down, if I still want that rectangle shape of the paper, I can just flip my paper around and then cut off the extra that hangs off of the back. So I'll show you that right here. Snip, snip, snip. Here's my final piece. It kind of looks like an abstract place, meaning not a real place. You can also use newspaper. You're probably not going to find images of like outdoor scenes, but you can definitely find colors and then kind of cut around the text, which just naturally gives you interesting shapes when you avoid the text. So cut out more than you need, just kind of cut out what looks interesting to you, and then afterwards you can decide if you want to use it or not. Again, called editing, really helpful art practice. So I'm using a piece of scrap newspaper to, while I'm gluing glue on the back of the things that I'm attaching to my collage, because you don't want to get the surface you're working on all sticky. If you have some paint, you can add to this piece to make a mixed media collage, meaning using more than one art material for a single art piece. And here I'm creating some clouds inspired by the sunrise and sunset in my pictures. Ta-da! Digging my final piece. Maybe you hang this by your bed so you always have a beautiful sky to wake up to, or in your window so you can look out to the real sky and see your piece that you made inspired by it. I hope you have a wonderful week. I miss you.